Okay, good day, students. You know how this works. Make sure that you have your pencil or pen and paper so that you can take notes. This is a no frills presentation, no colors, just words, both spoken and written. And we're transitioning from the Renaissance to and the Reformation to what we call the Age of Exploration, which is a terribly important time in the history of mankind because it altered the course of human history forever. Um, During this time, we see Europeans seeking out new lands, new routes to Asia for the products that they were buying there up to this point. Um, we see a meeting of cultures, um, ex- discoveries of new lands, and all of the consequences, both good and bad, that go along with these searches, these meetings of cultures, and this trading that really picks up during this age when routes were being discovered that eased or facilitated trade between Europeans and Arabs and Asians. Um, our first slide, of course, is our presentation goals. We'd like to understand some of the background leading up to this age to put it into context. I'd like to learn about the technological advances, several that contributed to navigation. Understand some of the primary reasons behind this explosion at this point in time of human history. And then the last slide is a mnemonic device for understanding, which is just a little memory trick that can help you understand some of these primary reasons for this exploration. Okay, at the time, there were land routes running from Europe through the Middle East and into Asia, and there was a bustling trade in spices and perfumes and other exotic things coming from Asia. And European merchants were making a fortune selling these. There was a great demand for them in Europe, and as we studied in our economics unit, when the demand is high, the prices can go very high as well. The trading routes were overland by caravan, which made it very time consuming and difficult. Eventually, the routes became established, but still the time frame and the demand from wealthy Europeans meant that some rulers and some adventurers wanted to find alternate routes by sailing overseas to these lands to procure or to buy the exotic items such as incense and silk and things of this nature. So the Europeans, as you can see, began seeking cheaper ways of buying these products, and also the spirit of the Renaissance, where we talked about humanism and human reason and scientific inquiry. This is a driving force. The spirit of the Renaissance drove, inspired these adventurers to seek out new ways to see what they could find. And they were driven by other forces that we will take a look at here in several slides. Technology, a new technology around the age. Cartography, which we all know is the art of map making. Map makers or cartographers at this point were using the reports of earlier explorers and also information from Arab geographers that they were meeting on the trade routes overland to Asia. This information allowed map makers to make more accurate land and sea maps and improved also the lines of latitude and longitude more accurately. Also, there was a invention called the astrolabe, and this instrument helped the sailors determine their latitude by measuring the positions of the stars. Their latitude, of course, breaking the sphere into northern and southern hemispheres, the 0 point being the equator. Also, a magnetic compass. Europeans acquired this technology from the Chinese, and it helped them when they were out at sea to tell in which direction they were going. And then we have the Portuguese, who designed and built a ship called a caravel. And this ship could sail faster and carry more cargo, and it also, more importantly, could float into shallow water, which enabled explorers to travel closer to the coastlines and up into inlets and into bays, whereas before the bulkiness of the ships didn't allow this type of exploration. So you can see how that would enhance the possibility of discovering something as you were closer to land. Okay, some motives. Well, the age of exploration, as you can see in red, it lasts from around 1418 until up around 1620. Lots of activity in the 1400s and even more in the 1500s. Three main motivations that we can talk about for exploration, and there are a couple ways to talk about this. On this slide, we're going to talk about economic, which is the desire to find new trade routes to Asia. Remember, economics deals with how we handle our resources and our money. So the explorers were looking for resources and willing to use their economy, their money, and their budget to finance these explorations and the buying of the products. Okay, there was economic demand for perfumes and spices, and so the price was becoming very high. So they needed to find a sea route to Asia. Prestige or fame. Explorers saw the chance that, hey, I can earn glory and riches by sailing, finding something new, something exotic, and bringing it back to my country and thumping my chest and saying, I am the explorer, and I claim this for you, king or queen. Okay, and then there was the desire to spread Christianity, which at this time was mainly Catholicism from the Spanish and the Portuguese. And the mnemonic device that I put together, I think it's pretty standard, is a quick memory trick. The reasons for exploration, you can see the 3 G's: God, to spread European Christianity to the quote New World. We call it the New World because it was being newly discovered by the Portuguese and the Spanish and some other nationalities. But of course there are already people populating these places, so it wasn't a new world to them. Gold is the other G, economic gain for self and for nation. And it's not just gold, but natural resources. Silver, the resources of or the spices and the products of incense and silk. Copper in the Americas, things of this nature. And then again, glory, fame, wealth, prestige, conquering new lands, chest thumping, I am the man, I sailed the unknown seas. That wraps up this presentation, so pay attention and be ready for the next one. It will be coming very soon.